here with some more Historic on MTGArena. They just released Amonkhet Remastered. Lots of new cards came into the format. It's kind of wild now. So we're going to try out one of the new cards, which is Solemnity. It's a 3-mana enchantment. It says players cannot get counters, and counters cannot be put on artifacts, creatures, enchantments, or lands. So we've got a couple combos in here in this almost control-y deck. Solemnity and 9 lives. 9 lives is a 3-mana enchantment with hexproof. If a source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage and put a counter on this. When there are 9 or more counters on this, exile it, and when it leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. So with Solemnity in play, the damage gets prevented, we don't lose any life. And then this is supposed to get a counter, but it does not get a counter. So we just basically cannot be damaged anymore until that combo is dealt with. And a lot of decks in Historic cannot deal with that combo. They just kind of scoop it up if they're a creature-based deck. A lot of times they can't really do anything to it. But there's also another combo. Luminous Broodmoth, or in this case Mothra, Supersonic Queen, is a 4-mana 3/4 flyer. Whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. Normally what this means is a creature dies, it comes back, it gets a flying counter. The next time it dies, it had flying, it stays away. However, with Solemnity, counters can't be put on creatures. So if a creature dies with the Broodmoth in play, it'll come back, but it won't get a flying counter on it, because Solemnity will say, no, you can't get a counter. And so with a card like Fanatical Firebrand, you can sack this, deal a damage to the opponent. It comes back, it does not get a flying counter. Sack it, deal a damage to the opponent. It comes back, it does not get a flying counter. And you can repeat to do infinite damage. So those are the 2 Solemnity combos. The rest of the deck is basically meant to just survive. We've got 4 Magma Sprays, nice good interaction. Also works good against Uro. On turn 3 they play Uro, you Magma Spray it, and then they sacrifice Uro and it gets exiled. Birth of Meletis helps you hit your mana drops, creates a wall, gains a little bit of life. Just kind of a do-all thing to kind of buy some time. Baffling End, early interaction that exiles, that's good against cards that want to come back. Again, Uro's a big one, but also things like the Cat, or something against a Lurrus deck. Some decks have creatures that come back from the graveyard that stops it. Tutor for an enchantment. Helps us get whichever part of the combo we want between Solemnity and 9 lives. And then we just got some mass removal like Sweltering Suns and Shadow the Sky. You could do Wrath of God instead of Shadow the Sky. I just did not want to make use more wild cards. So we're going to play with this. We're going to play 5 games. Check it out. It's a really goofy deck. How good it is yet to be determined. But in current best of 1 Historic, it attacks the metagame pretty well. The things that a lot of decks are doing just kind of don't have answers to it. There's not a lot of main deck enchantment removal. Here we have 9 lives and Mothra. So I've got different portions of the combos. And a Birth of Meletis to kind of buy some time, hit more land drops. Oh, opponent said hello. We will say hello back. Uh-oh. Witch's Oven is not what we wanted to see. Witch's Oven means that they're the Sacrifice Cat combo deck. And unfortunately, life loss does not get stopped by 9 lives. So the cat will still make us lose a life. It'll just go right over. Or right through the 9 lives. So here I'm just going to... I can't even really Magma Spray it. If they bring it back in the turn, we can Magma Spray it then. I assume that's what they're going to do. So let them sack this. Create a food. They did not sack it. Okay, so the opponent playing well. Making sure they only bring back their cat with Witch's Oven activation available. And this matchup's going to be very difficult for us to win. The Shadow of the Sky is nice, but it doesn't really help us. We're so far away from the Mothra combo. I think we're going to want to shatter soon, though. We're going to want them to get a couple things in play and then shatter. So I don't think we want to play our Mothra. This is pretty much the worst matchup for the deck. A lot of other decks, 9 lives would buy us a lot of time. Also, a fun interaction. 9 lives with a second 9 lives lets you pretty much pick which enchantment gets the counter on it. So if this one has 8 counters, and then you play this one, you now get like 9 more activations. They don't both get it. You get to choose which one prevents the damage. Which is pretty cool. It means that against a lot of decks, the 9 lives really, really buys you a lot of time. Do I want to Magma Spray the Woe Strider here? I think so. Go ahead and get rid of that. Now that the Witch's Oven is tapped. Exile it. Well, there's the Solemnity. So now players cannot get counters. So all we're looking for now is Fanatical Firebrand. We have the mana to cast both at the same time. Bolus's Citadel. Well, that's not good. That is not good at all. And, well, I guess we'll Shatter the Sky now. A Mayhem Devil is a massive problem, though, when we have a 4 toughness creature that needs to live for that combo. Ah, another Mayhem Devil, huh? A Goose? Oh, I think we're almost dead. If they sacrifice 10 permanents, we die, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that should make us lose 10 and then also give them 10 triggers. Cool. So good game. Wait, no, let me say good game. Yes. Just a little unfortunate. We had one combo, but it was against the deck that really doesn't care about that combo at all. And we go to 0-1. The Sacrifice deck is quite good in Historic right now. I've had a lot of fun playing it. There should be a video coming soon with us playing from the Bolus's Citadel side. Oh, let's see what this quest is. Let's re-roll this. Try to get a 750 quest. During the stream, twitch.tv/Synthetica. During the stream that we were playing this, we actually had relatively good success. So hopefully we can make that work again. Solemnity and 9 lives in the opening hand. Depending on the opponent's deck, that might be good enough. Opponent being elves makes me think it will be. Let's see if they're red-green. No. Elvish Archdruid. Yeah, I think we're going to win the game next turn. Unless they're playing Reclamation Sage, which I don't think many of them are. We're going to drop the 9 lives Solemnity combo. And I don't think Elves has a way to deal with it. Oh, they do! They do run Reclamation Sage. Luckily we have a backup, but... gonna go ahead and Shatter the Sky. Not all of the elf decks run Reclamation Sage, so that's pretty interesting. We really set them back pretty far there, though. Now the question is, do we want to play Solemnity? Because they can just discard to get another Reclamation Sage. I think so. Imperious Perfect. We take 3. I think we can Baffling End the Fauna Shaman. And then get the 9 lives in play. Now we can't take any damage for a while. They have to get rid of Solemnity before they can damage us. We have a Sweltering Suns to wipe the board. Should they start... There we go! Should they start loading things up, but they have had enough. Apparently only 1 Reclamation Sage. Like I said, not a lot of the elf decks run it. And that's the combo in action. Just lock the opponent out of the game. The ultimate pillow fort. But yes, twitch.tv/Synthetica. We stream Magic a couple times a week. If you're watching this, come check us out. Usually Magic happens on Friday for sure, and then sometimes on other days. And we do drafts, we do historic, we do all sorts of things. I do not want to play the Firebrand here. Firebrand is pretty important. Pretty important piece of the combo. Looks like our opponent is playing some sort of Simic okay, so Sultai, 4-color almost. That's not great. Definitely wanted to find land 3. The 9 lives combo sometimes works against this deck, sometimes it doesn't. It depends on whether or not they play Ugin or Ulamog. However, we are just a Broodmoth away from this combo. But we do need some lands as well. Oh, they did not have another land. Okay. Yeah, Ugin is a very, very poor card for this matchup. Or for this deck, I should say. Because if an Ugin -3 will get rid of 9 lives. And that will make us lose the game. Just outright. Thanks to the last text of 9 lives. Golos. So this will likely get the Field of the Dead. We'll grab Tutor 9 lives, just to buy time if we have to. We are hoping we don't have to do that, though. A second Golos. Usually this Simic 3-color, 4-color ramp deck, the Field of the Dead, Uro, Growth Spiral decks, usually have some sort of top payoff, whether it be Ugin or Ulamog, that's problematic for the 9 lives combo. However, I think we're going to want to get it in play. Alright, we're now just looking for Broodmoth. We have everything else available. And nothing else matters. It's whether or not we find Broodmoth before they find Ugin or Ulamog. They get to look at 4 cards a turn, unfortunately. Alright. None of those are it, although they do get Karn. I don't know if there's anything from the sideboard that crushes us that they can get with Karn. Something like Tormod's Crypt, if that's in the format, to make it where my Firebrand cannot come back would be like the solution. But we'll see if they know that that portion of the deck exists. Crucible, yeah, that's fine. Alright, Broodmoth for the win. Well, this is a little bit unfortunate. Birth of Meletis, not exactly very good here. It does not get counters from Solemnity, so its 2 mana do literally nothing. But that is okay. Let's see what else they have. The Crucible didn't really matter too much. Let's see what big artifact they have to deal with this. Again, a Crypt or something that prevents me from recurring something from the graveyard would be a concession. Because I assume they have something to deal with this. I guess maybe we would like play it out just to see. Platinum Angel. That doesn't affect anything. That one doesn't do anything. Because the Firebrand can just ping the Platinum Angel first. In fact, we could see how many pings it would take. We can see how low the life total can go before we kill the Platinum Angel if we wanted to. So it looks like we are still on Broodmoth for the win. Oh, they conceded! They had nothing! So they did not have Ugin. They had to concede. It was only a matter of time until we found Broodmoth then. And we're up to 2-1. Operation Pillow Fort is successful yet again. Let's see if we can get that 3-2 mark that we always look for. This hand is not very good. It doesn't really push us towards what we're trying to accomplish. I guess this hand's more fine. What am I getting rid of, though? We're a long ways away from the Firebrand portion of the combo, so I think we'll do this. Magma Spray, Sweltering Suns, and Shatter could be very good depending on what their deck is. Oh, yes. Also, 9 lives should be fantastic against them. That is a wonderful draw. Next turn we can Sweltering Suns. We have a follow-up Shatter the Sky. Sweltering Suns after Birth of Meletis is actually pretty great. Oh, Solemnity. We actually can just probably wrap up the game next turn. No counters on creatures means their riots are worse. It means their Pelt Collector is worse. So that's very nice. Red-green usually does not play any sort of enchantment removal. So the Solemnity 9 lives combo should get the job done here. I do not believe they play, Reclamation Sage or anything. Nine lives. I suppose Stomps can, stop us from having damage prevented. That is a lesser known perk of Stomp. damage can't be prevented this turn. But we do also get a bunch of time, a bunch of removal spells here, including mass removal. Oh, Questing Beast might like make it not be prevented as well. Oh yeah, I think among Questing Beast's 37 lines of text, something about damage can't be prevented might be one of them. So I think we'll just Sweltering Suns, clear the board up. We have a backup Shatter the Sky, if necessary. But this should hopefully help us buy time. I do wish I'd have kept the Firebrand in hand now instead of the Magma Spray. And they concede. Awesome. Yeah, so one of the perks about playing a weird deck like this is a lot of the more subtle interactions aren't as well known for the opponents because they don't run into it very much. So it's possible that that opponent did not realize that Stomp would still deal damage to me. It would make it where their creatures dealt damage to me even through the combo. Or that Questing Beast would probably do the same. I have to like actually read Questing Beast again. So we've reached the 3-win threshold. This will be our last game. Always want to try to get that 3 wins. That means we win more than we lose. But let's see if we can make it 4-1. 4-1 with this goofy combo deck. I'd like to go off with the Broodmoth combo. So far, our opponents have just conceded to the 9 lives. But I do want to get to show off the other combo too, so here's hoping. This hand seems fine. This finds me a land, some early interaction. Solemnity's the most important card in the deck. They're Luris. Does that change anything? I don't think so. I think if I were playing this deck more, I might want to tweak it a little bit to have 1 or 2 silver bullet enchantments that I can tutor for, such as Rest in Peace. Specifically Rest in Peace. Probably 1 or 2 more if I looked at everything as a whole. Rest in Peace would probably be, you know, really good against these matchups that are not great for us. Like this Luris. We do have Magma Spray, so that's nice. Archfiend's Vessel. Alright, all we need now is the Firebrand. I'm actually just going to Magma Spray this immediately. I don't want them to put, you know, Kaya's Ghost Form on it and then to sack it. Oh, Thoughtseize. Let's see what they take. I would probably take, like, Birth of Meletis. They take the Broodmoth. This is going to help me find lands and a creature, though. Get me a nice 0-4 wall. And we also found the 9 lives combo. Not the greatest thing in this matchup. Again, they have so much life loss. Looks like they're the Rakdos Kroxa deck. So what are we at now? The Broodmoth for the win. So I think now we can just play the 9 lives. It doesn't affect anything for the life loss, but it will prevent any like Mayhem Devil shenanigans. Or I guess they can't have Mayhem Devil if they have Luris. Any damage dealing shenanigans. And they concede. They just wrap it up. They just have had enough. They don't want to play against that. So Team Pillow Fort with the 4-1. Let's mark that off. There were just not a lot of decks that are equipped to deal with this. And even the ones that are have to have very specific cards to do it. We saw Elves needed to have like multiple reclamation stages and they didn't. The red-green deck needed to know about Stomp and probably Question Beast. But because that almost never comes up, they just didn't, and they thought they were dead. Same thing with the Rakdos deck and the life loss. You know, maybe they didn't realize that they could still kill us via life loss, but we also made it where, you know, they couldn't deal a lot of damage to us. The life loss is going to take some time. We were still at 18. And all we were looking for was a Broodmoth, and we were going to win the game. So it definitely made things difficult. We never got to go off with the Mothra / Broodmoth and Firebrand combo, but it definitely was something that was going to win us the game if people didn't concede. We were going to eventually find it and win, but people just kind of, you know, conceded to 9 lives. Solemnity and 9 lives is a very real combo. People have to have things to deal with that, especially in best in 1, or else the game's just over. And as we saw 4 times, opponents just thought the game was over. Sweltering Suns is really good with Birth of Meletis. I'm a big fan of that little interaction. You grab a land, you make an 0/4, you wipe the board for 3, clear out a lot of the tinier creatures. Magma Spray is good. I don't think I would make any significant changes. I might shave a Shatter the Sky for, like, a Rest in Peace, like I said, just as a silver bullet. If I had the wild cards, I would change Shatter to Wrath of Gods. It's strictly better, because we don't have any 4-power creatures. But everything else seems pretty solid. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a good time. We stream Magic on Fridays, twitch.tv/Synthetica. And I hope to see you next time. Take care.